Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for taking the time. Number one, I see we're about 5 minutes late. I want to first off apologize. I know how valuable your time is and our time is, so I hate to even throw 3 to 6 minutes out the window, but I promise today is going to be worthwhile. We're doing something different. The next 60 minutes, or I should say 55, is all going to be focused around sales ideas, great products, instant decision platform we're going to dive into a little bit. So, some really, really cool stuff that you can use in your everyday practice on both the life and annuity side, which is exciting. Okay. And you remember this, but I always speak about taking notes using the Q&A box. We want to make sure that you're comfortable with the products, the concepts. You're going to hear the 60-second close. It's exciting things you have not seen before. So please jump in, ask questions. We want to make sure you're comfortable. We'll send out a thank you email tonight before we leave, and we'll include contracting, product brochures, and a little more about the sales strategies. So you'll have everything at your fingertips in your inbox before we leave tonight. And again, pick up the phone, talk to any one of our marketers here in the office, and we will also get you set up. Or if you have questions and you want us to dive in deeper on either the life side or the annuity side, or a little bit of both, no problem at all. So what we're going to do is we're going to dive in first, and we're going to talk about what is most important to us here at Levinson. We're going on our 52nd year anniversary, and it's because of you all, right? Our clients. Our clients are our agents. As you know, we are 110% in the wholesale space. Okay, we're a distributor. We're an IMO. We do not sell on a retail level. So our agents are our number one, our everything. And the slide that you're looking at in just a second here, if we can get that loaded up, is about you, right? Dan, Nita, Ihesha. This is what it's about. This is the world. This is real fast. Dan, our agent, says Angela is the best. You can't improve on the best, so keep doing what you're doing. Nita, right side, please continue to employ professional and courteous people like Christy and Kim. I like the prompt response when I have a question and need guidance. I'm 100% pleased with the service. Again, this is everything. This is why we're going on 52 years strong, family-owned operation, 100% family-owned and operated. It's a big deal for us. On the bottom, thank you, Josh, for the best service. I appreciate you. Ayesha, this is everything, and we want this to continue. So if you're not, I don't like saying 100%, but if something isn't being handled the right way, right, and it could be at the carrier level, it could be at our level internally, pick up the phone, ask for Carrie, ask for myself, Bill Levinson. Okay, we're going to jump in and make it right. Okay, and 99% of the time it will be right. And that 1% chance sometimes happens with a certain underwriter or a certain carrier. Obviously, we can't control everything, but we're going to do everything in our power to turn the situation around for you. Just know that. Let's keep moving forward. What I want to talk about next is our biggest and best event of the year, period. The reason why I say reimagined for 2024, it's a big reason, okay? Number one, the schedule, the agenda, the presenters, the sales strategies, everything is new. Everything is different this year. This will be a day you do not want to miss, period. Okay, 2 awesome keynotes, an agent panel. In fact, we have the infamous Corbridge keynote speaker, Joe Ross, is going to be there. In fact, Eric, one of our presenters today, is going to be there live, okay, on behalf of Corbridge Financial. So in my opinion, Joe Ross is my favorite life and annuity sales coach, bar none. Okay, he's our keynote for 45 minutes around lunchtime. It's going to be amazing. Okay, I promise you that. Make sure you're registered now. We're capped at 300 people in the room based on fire code. As you know, right on the sand in Deerfield Beach, South Florida. Make sure you are registered now, because I promise you in a couple of weeks, this will be closed out. So make sure you get that in ASAP. Lunch, breakfast, snacks, all the above is included. It's free, no charge. If you need hotel info, just let us know and we'll get you out whatever you need. Let's keep moving forward. By the way, what I'm going to do is at the end, we're going to have our question of the day. Okay, make sure that you're paying attention. Whoever answers first incorrectly wins the HD8 Amazon tablet. Okay, so if you answer first incorrectly, you get the HD Fire 8 tablet and the IUL prospecting book on us. Also, side note, if you go to our Google reviews page or even our Facebook page, okay, leave a comment, a review, a testimonial, and you'll get that IUL prospecting book on us complimentary, okay, just for saying a few words, okay? We want to hear from our agents. We want to make sure we're doing the right thing for you all, most important. Okay, what you're looking at now, and by the way, I have just a couple more slides, and then I'm going to turn the wheel over to Eric and Charles. We have two presenters of the day, one on the life side, one on the annuity side, as I promised. By the way, if you're seeing this live right now, obviously, try out that Q&A question pane box. You can expand it, minimize it, but just say testing, whatever you want, try that out. Make sure it's working. If you're seeing this by next weekend or a month or two from now, whatever it is, we're going to blast it out in about 10 days. But if you're seeing this down the road, again, call into any one of our marketers. We can also get you that thank you email that we send out to all the panelists that are live with us here today. Okay, so just keep that in mind. What you're looking at in front of you, this is our Levinson 411. So when you scratch your head and you say, you know, Bill, you guys have over 90 carriers on the life side, the annuity side, supplemental product space. How do I keep my finger on the pulse on everything what's going on in our industry, right? I got to know what's hot, what's not. When my client calls me, when the lead calls me, I got to have the best of the best. So this 411 newsletter is your way in. This is a 100-foot overview on every single thing you need to know about with our 90-plus carriers here at Levinson, and with our own tools, platforms, resources, technology. Okay, everything is in one place. Think of it as like a playbook, like a one-click image. Okay, and you're in. So you're going to get this every other week. In fact, this was the one that went out on Tuesday. We call it Positive Tuesday here at Levinson. But if you did not receive this, let us know. That means we have your incorrect email address. Let's keep moving forward. What I want to talk about next is Carrie's Corner. So Carrie's Corner, and you all know Carrie Levinson, my father, who started the company 52 years ago, 1972. Every single month, he likes to sit down and almost think of it like a insider's editorial, okay? And he tells some personal stories back in the MetLife days when he had a short sleeve dress shirt and a chocolate brown dress tie that stopped at his belly button, okay? In the 1970 Cadillac driving around house to house. So he's got some great stories to share, and we can all learn from this. And anyway, great stories that you can share with your consumers and prospects. So this is the latest version. We're going to send this out today, volume 31. So make sure you keep your eyes peeled for this in your inbox, or check your junk folder as well. Sometimes our emails will go into spam, so you might have to fish it out. But I love these Carrie's Corner articles. Let's keep moving forward. What I want to do next, my last slide, and then Eric and Charles are going to take the wheel. So everybody was asking for Insure Me Now Direct, right? It's Amazon, right? But for you to go out and market to your consumers and prospects and leads, okay? Just think of your own Amazon website. You know what this is. We own the technology, built the platform 10 plus years ago. Well, we now have some of the best companies and products on the platform in the industry, period. Okay, and think about this. Your consumer or lead could go on your site, 2 a.m., run a quote, apply online, get an instant decision, print and save the policy in less than 15 minutes. You wake up as the agent in the morning and you have a full commission plus renewals on most products, okay, in your inbox. So that's how simple it is. Now, what I'm going to talk about for a second, left-hand side, final expense, that was the wish from you all, from our agents. We now have it with Manhattan Life. Okay, instant decision, final expense, first time ever. No one and no other IMO has anything like this, where it's multi-carrier, multi-product, 100% direct to consumer, but you're still the agent of record. Okay, that's the biggest deal here. You are agent of record, just like as if you were face to face with Mary or Shelley at Starbucks at 7 a.m. on a Thursday. Okay, so huge plus. This gives you a big leg over your competition, as you know, especially now with the more competitive carriers and products, and we're just adding to this. It's getting bigger and better, and we're putting our money where our mouth is. $100 gift card with your first app. Even if you write your own life, we don't care. Okay, we want you to see how simple this is. So even if it's hey, I need $100,000 term, great. It's on yourself, no problem. We're still going to give you the $100 cash, okay? Because I want you to see this is so easy. It doesn't get any easier selling insurance in 2024. Okay, so we have our next slide here, and what I want to talk about too is this is a big deal. And it's funny, I've been in the business almost 25 years, and you see, marijuana users, cannabis, cigars, chewers, right? And there's always been a little niche company here and there. I remember U.S. Financial back in the day, years and years ago, right? But you look at today, right, and you look at the facts and the statistics, and the bottom line is there are a lot of people that are prescribed marijuana, okay, and different types of forms, and cigar users, right? We know, and for an agent, this is a huge niche. And what's amazing today, okay, depending obviously on usage, and as long as they're not abusing, you can get a preferred rating, a preferred non-tobacco rating, and you can have premiums that are as competitive as someone that doesn't touch cannabis or cigars or chewers. And now it's not just one company anymore. Okay, so this is a big deal. If I was an agent, I would be marketing this stuff all over the place. Okay, open the door, share your story, get the sale, move on, build your book of business, right? Look at those rates on the bottom left corner. It's crazy. It's unbelievable how things have changed. Okay, let's keep moving forward. What I also want to talk about and what has changed tremendously is the annuity space. Okay, I just saw, as a matter of fact, this morning, there was an article based on LIMRA statistics, okay, for in the United States for fixed annuity sales from 2022 to 2023. The increase percentage growth was 23% year over year, increased annuity sales premium, 23% from 22 to 23. Okay, you're an agent right now sitting here listening to the four of us. Okay, you got to know enough to be dangerous on the annuity space. This is a great way to supplement your income unless you're already focused on the annuity side. Maybe you're using the life to supplement, whatever it is. But the point is, now is the time. There's never been a better time for either side. Okay, 23%, that's a game changer. That's in 12 months. So you got to take notice. Without further ado, I have my two featured guest speakers from Corebridge. We have Eric from the life side, Charles from the annuity side. They're going to jump right in today. Eric, are you there? Oh, I think we're getting set up. Give us just 1 second.
Okay, there we go, Bill.
Okay, perfect. I think we're good to go. Andrew? Yep, there we go. Okay.
All right, beautiful. Thanks, Bill, and thank you, Levinson, for having us on the call here today. I am here with someone that I know very well at this point, Charles Samuel. He's my counterpart on the annuity side. So we get to do this periodically, and it's pretty exciting when we both get to present on the same call. I think it gives you a very nice picture of the company and so forth. But I always like to kick this off with, who exactly is this Corbridge Financial? Really important that you actually know that, because a year and a half ago, we would have introduced ourselves as AIG, and I would venture a guess out of the people that are on the call here, you would have known who that company is. And so now we're actually Corebridge Financial. Corebridge Financial is the former AIG Life and Retirement. So if you think about AIG is still the property and casualty company it's always been, but they made a decision back in September of 2022 to spin off the life and retirement part of the business. And it's important that I kind of kick off these presentations talking a little bit about that. But in addition to that, it's a very significant and meaningful company. In fact, it's one of the biggest life and annuity companies in this country. So if you just follow along with me briefly, I'll prove that to you. So you can see on this first slide here, We have $360 billion of assets under management as of September 30th last year. Premiums and deposits for the last 12 months of $38.1 billion. So we are not small by any stretch of the imagination. The next question I'd probably be asking is, how relevant of a company really are you? And so I scroll to this next page, and from a ranking standpoint, you can see, and Charles will talk about this, we're the #2 overall ranked total annuity sale company. And you can see the various ranks. It's between 2 and 14, but a very relevant company in the space that we do. And then the next question I'd probably ask is, what do your ratings look like? And that's where page 3 comes into play. We are an A+ rated company with Standard & Poor's, A2, A, and A+ with Fitch. So a very strong, relevant company that's here to help you and to support you. And we're just excited to be on the call here today. So that is Corbridge Financial in a nutshell. It is the former AIG. We are a new brand, but we are not a new company. Our DNA has a long history, and we're excited to be here today. So that's the company. From a life insurance standpoint, which is what I do, I'm happy to announce that we've had a couple of very significant changes take place recently. We had a major term price that occurred last Friday, so not even a week old. And we have our accumulation IUL product that's going through a reprice, and that's going to be set and ready to go next week. So we have some really exciting things from a product standpoint that I wanted to walk you through. So that's the company, that's the life insurance product. But my primary purpose in being on the call here today is to walk you through some sales concepts, some things to do with the life insurance business. So let me just take a minute and pull this up for you. Okay, the first concept that I'm going to walk you through is something that we call the butterfly chart. And I'm going to walk you through this. We have all sorts of collateral on this particular concept, client approved, producer approved. This is a concept that has worked very, very well out there. And let me kind of frame it up for you as you're starting to think about this. A lot of people, from our experience, are very good at selling term insurance. And term insurance is an incredibly important tool to help protect, families and businesses. However, term insurance has a defined start and a defined finish. And a lot of people think that the need for insurance ends when someone actually hits retirement. And what I'm going to try to do here is prove to you why that's not necessarily the case, and we need to be a little bit more thorough when we're taking clients through the process of acquiring life insurance. So first and foremost, when we talk about the pre-retirement stage, we have 3 big risks that get smaller over time. We think about sending the kids to college. Hopefully by about the time we've retired, you've saved enough money, the kids have gone through college, and so at that point, that's paid for. That's not really a risk anymore. Same kind of thing with paying off the mortgage. That mortgage is huge when you first take it out, and gradually over time, and hopefully by about retirement age, that mortgage has been paid off. And then last but not least, the income replacement. And hopefully by the time you've reached retirement, you have enough money to carry you forward into retirement. And a lot of people stop there. And if that's all they thought about, they would think, okay, term insurance is the perfect solution for people that have these risks. They start off big, they go small, and then they eventually go away. But there's a whole nother piece to this that is not something people really think about. In that during the retirement phase, there's 3 risks that actually get bigger over time. What are they? First and foremost, we have financial risks. What do those consist of? Well, we have stock market corrections. We all know how that goes back in 2008. We have home ownership expenses during retirement years, which you look at some of the costs of these things, of needing a new roof, a new hot water heater, things of that nature. And especially with inflation, what will that cost down the road from now? We talk about low interest rates. The low interest rate environment can be a killer on someone who's assuming a particular rate of interest, especially in more conservative positions as they've hit that retirement age. We think about increasing tax rates. If I were to sit here and ask you guys, are taxes going up or going down? I think the majority of people here on the call would say they have to go up, and that's what we anticipate. And then for some people, they've undersaved. They have just enough to make it by during retirement, and maybe inflation, maybe other things. They don't have quite enough to go all the way through. And then last but not least, and you see this often, is that while people are younger and healthy, right after they retire, they want to do all these things while they can. And so sometimes people spend too much too soon. What's the next one? Healthcare costs, you probably could have guessed that I would talk about that. These numbers for healthcare costs are exorbitant. They're unbelievable. For a healthy couple, you're talking, from the research we've done, over $300,000 of medical need that they have from the time they retire until the time that they ultimately pass away. Have your clients prepared for that situation. And then last but not least, reduce Social Security income. When one spouse passes away, what's going to happen is that surviving spouse going to get 75% of the Social Security they had prior, 50%? It really depends, but it's a big hit to people that are in those retirement years. On the left of this chart, we consider this the if you die insurance. This is term insurance. This is if you die. On the right-hand side, we consider this the when you die coverage, and we're all going to die. Your studies show we all are going to die. And so in order to plan for all of these risks, we have to do a couple of things. And before I talk about that, this is called the butterfly chart, because if this was on a screen behind you and you're standing in the middle, it's affectionately become known as the butterfly chart, because those would look like wings to each side of you. So that's how it got its name. But if we wrap this up, one of the things that we considered for an insured that has all these risks is, what if, rather than insuring them with all term insurance, we were to put $400,000 of permanent coverage to cover all of these risks from the beginning to the end, and we were to supplement that with $600,000 of term insurance, thereby giving this client $1 million of coverage up until the time they reach retirement, and $400,000 after retirement to make them whole with the passing of one of the spouses. This is called the butterfly chart. And I hope that it can give you a track to run on. As you know, a lot of people we talk to, they get stuck. The term sale is something that's easy, but it's harder for people to actually explain to a client some of these risks that happen after the retirement years. That is the butterfly chart. That is the first thing that I wanted to walk you through. Second thing I want to walk you through, and I'm going to have you write down a website, okay? It's called retirestronger.com. A lot of the stuff that I'm walking you through here today is all out on this great resource. It does not require a username or password, and people love it. It's got so much great material out there that you can use, and I'm only pointing you to a couple of things that I think are really, really strong. So the second idea that I wanted to walk you through is more in the realm of marketing. On this site, we have something that's called campaigns in a box, or pre-built campaigns. And so I'm going to walk you through this very briefly, but I want you to see some of this great material. It's based on 3 different sections. We have life insurance basics on the left, we have women's financial concerns in the middle, and then we have a campaign based on growing your business. So I can choose any of these campaigns, and if I click on pre-built campaign and I launch that up, I'm going to show you what comes up here. It actually will launch a already pre-built campaign broken down into a 4-week marketing effort, where you can select emails, you can select direct mail, you can select social media, and it's literally a click on the links, a copy and a paste, whether that's into your email based on it being email, whether it's into your social media profiles. I'm not going to go into each of these because I don't want to have a tough time getting back, but there's some really good stuff here that's literally as easy as a copy and a paste into your LinkedIn, into your Facebook, whatever social media platform you may be using. And if you need any help with that, I know the marketers at Levinson would be happy to walk you through. But again, this is the pre-built campaign. If you only wanted to do the social media only, you could also select that here as well, where it'll walk you through this one is actually a full month of materials to help you promote your brand, to let people know that you are in the life insurance space and that you're an expert in this arena. So some really good stuff there as well. So these are the pre-built campaigns, things that you can use. Again, no password, no username needed to get onto this website. So much great material. And again, this is only a sliver of what's available out there, but some things that I want you to be aware of. Last but not least, also on this Retire Stronger website, you are going to see on the bottom right-hand side of the screen some sales tools. So the first one that's here is Life with Confidence. I'm going to launch it just so you can get a sense of what this looks like. But this is a site that helps your clients better understand all the concepts that go into index universal life. It talks about caps. It talks about pars. It talks about participation rates. It talks about how this all works. It's really an educational tool where you can actually simulate specific market returns to walk a client through how this all works. I'm not going to go through this in excruciating detail. This would be in and of itself a presentation at a later date, but something for you to actually absolutely take a look at. The term quoting rapid rater, that is how you quote term insurance on the fly. Very simple and quick and easy. The client meeting prep tool, this is Generation Station, where you can go in there, you can enter all the inputs on your particular client. I have a male, he's 55, he's got 2 kids. The kids are age 6 and 18. Tell me about this client. It's going to tell you how best to message to that client. It's going to tell you what that client's thinking about. It's going to really give you a good sense of who that client is. And on the bottom of the screen, it's going to give you all the resources that are specific to that particular client and what their concerns may be. Determining the right amount of coverage. This is a tool that allows you to go in there and, again, enter your client's information, and it's going to walk you through the rationale as to why a certain amount of insurance would be appropriate for your client. And then last but not least, we have the IRA wealth transfer. And this is a couple of strategies. I'll scroll down to the bottom here so you can see what they are. There is an income tax elimination, and there's an income tax offset solution that come at the end of this specific sales idea. So things to think about. I can't tell you how many of your clients have IRAs and they're not sure exactly what to do with it. And especially if they're worried about passing away with it, or a child that received that IRA upon the parent's death. There are so many great IRA strategies that we offer. This is just one that's in this list of things. So that's really the 3 items I wanted to walk you through. We talked about the butterfly chart. We talked about some of these pre-built campaigns that you can use. And then lastly, some of the great resources that exist out here on the site that can really help your clients. There's some great material, and this is only just, like I said, a sliver of what we offer. So with that said, I'm going to wrap right now from a life insurance standpoint, and I am going to introduce my good friend, Charles Samuel. Charles and I have become great friends over the last number of years. We cover a very similar territory, and I'm excited to hear his presentation here today. All you, Charles.
All right, E.T., thank you for the introduction. It is a privilege working with you. And some of you guys may be thinking, who is Charles Samuel and why haven't I heard of him before? I've been with AIG, now Corebridge, for 20 years, and I had the privilege of meeting with Carrie and Bill just yesterday. And we were talking about all the growth that has taken place in the annuity business over the last few years. Last year, I was inducted into our Corbridge's Hall of Fame. Also, last year, our territory did over $1 billion. Not our firm, not our entire IMO channel, just my team. Over $1 billion in annuity sales. And a large part of that was not by focusing on product, but by focusing on how do we have the conversation. So today, what we're going to do is a 60-second close. In addition to that, I'm going to share other stories with you, or other questions that will allow you to prospect. 3 questions to prospect. And then the one thing I want to do to wrap all this up together is to show you how this 60-second close helps you to close a client in 60 seconds. They'll know exactly what they want to do at the end of that 60 seconds. Then how do you prospect? Because for many people, if you were doing life insurance, if you were doing property and casualty, if you were doing something else, you know the opportunity is there, but you don't know how to take advantage of that. I'm going to encourage you to take notes. I'm going to encourage you to take pictures, because a lot of what we're going to do is going to actually be on a whiteboard that I have. Normally I'll do this, I'll take over the screen, but my screen wasn't working like I wanted it to. So I'm going to pull out my iPad and we'll do it this way. Now, Bill, do you mind if you hop in as my volunteer? Because a lot of times if I just do it by myself, people will say, it was rigged. But if I have another volunteer, it gives me someone to bounce off of. Can you do that, Bill?
Yep, I'm on. You know what we'll do is I'm controlling the slides. I'll have Andrew, my right hand, be that guy. Andrew, can you hear me?
I'm here.
Hold on.
All right, Andrew, are you ready?
Perfect. We need you to step in for a sec.
So here's what we do.
I'm in.
This is how it works. Normally, what I would ask a person if we're meeting face to face, I would ask you, how long have you been in the business? And some people will say, I'm brand new. Some people will say, I've been in the business for 30 years. Doesn't matter. My next question is, have you ever witnessed someone closing an annuity sale in 60 seconds? And your response?
I would say no.
No. Everybody says no. I was just talking to Josh. Josh said no. I was talking to Kerry yesterday. He said no. And Levinson Associates has been in business for 52 years. So then my next question is, if I can show you how you can close any annuity in the universe in less than 60 seconds, what would that mean for your business? Everyone says it would grow exponentially. So now we're going to demonstrate that 60-second close. All I need you, Andrew, is to play the role of the client. You're going to answer the question as the client. I'm going to go ahead and go through this process, and then we'll go from there. Andrew, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Andrew, most people that are focused on retirement are focused on one of two things. They're focused on either accumulation or they're focused on income. What's more important to you?
My income.
A lot of people say that. Is that because you want the income now or because you want the income later?
I would like it later so I don't outlive it.
A lot of people say that. Do you want a guarantee for life?
Absolutely.
Who wouldn't? And do you want to have control or no control over the underlying cash value?
Control.
You must know my ex-wife. So you want income later, guaranteed for life, and you want control? Andrew, there's only one thing in the universe that could do that for you. That's an annuity with an income rider. Andrew, how long did it take us?
54 seconds.
54 seconds. In 54 seconds, we talked about one of the most difficult things that many people talk about, retirement. The second most difficult, annuities. Many people are afraid and they're confused, and we made it fun, but more importantly, we made it quick and we made it effective. Now, some people will say, Charles, what if the person had said they want income now? Well, the question is the same. Do they want that guarantee for life? Yes. Okay. Well, do you want to have control or no control over the underlying asset? I want control. Okay. So if you want income now, guaranteed for life, and you want control, there's only one thing in the universe that could do that for you. That's an annuity with an income rider. Now, at this point, some people will say, if that's the case, and this is that good, why am I just now hearing about it? Why is it that my money manager that's managing all of my money isn't telling me about this? Well, the answer is very simple. They don't know. They haven't been trained. This is your first time seeing it. And this is something that I built and I developed, and I've been using this for the last 10 years. And I've talked to people with Merrill Lynch. I've talked to people with Edward Jones. I talked to RIAs. I talked to people that sold Metsup. I've talked to everyone, and this is bulletproof. I even talked to people on the plane. And before we wrap up, I'll give you a story about that. So now we've covered income. So people will say at this point, so what if I had said accumulation first? Can we go there? So Andrew, would you mind going and starting with accumulation?
Sure thing.
All right, I'm going to reset the timer, all zeros. You're the client preparing for retirement, and you're going to start by saying accumulation and then go for wherever feels comfortable. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Andrew, most people that are focused on retirement are focused on one of two things. They're focused on accumulation or they're focused on income. What's more important to you?
Accumulation.
A lot of people say that. Is it because you want pure accumulation or because you're accumulating for future paychecks?
I would say it's for future paychecks.
That's income. When do you want that, now or later?
I would say I want that later.
Okay, do you want it guaranteed for life?
Yes.
And do you want control or no control over the underlying cash value?
I would like control.
Most people say that, right? So if you want income later, guaranteed for life, and you want control, there's only one thing in the universe that could do that for you. That's an annuity with an income rider. Andrew, 55 seconds. Now I have a question. Did that feel like a full conversation that we had?
Yeah, I think so.
Most people will say yes. Some people will argue and they'll say, well, it won't work for my client. My clients are difficult. I say, well, be your client and let's do it right now. And then as we get into it, they're like, hold on. You didn't talk about product. You didn't talk about company. You didn't vomit. You didn't throw up anything on me. No, I've done this for so long. I've learned there are certain questions I need to ask to understand what you want. And after I ask those questions, I know exactly what you want. And not only do I know what you want, I can defend myself against anything that you're going to say with numbers that back those things up. And we'll do that in just a moment. Now, there's one more path that we didn't go down. And this time, Andrew, I'm going to guide you, right? I want you to say accumulation, pure accumulation, only because for most people, once we satisfy their income need, right? So they have their Social Security, they have their pension, and now we close that income gap, and it's guaranteed for life. Now they're like, what do I do with the rest of it? So now let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead and reset my timer. Andrew, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Perfect. All zeros. Let's go. Andrew, most people that are focused on retirement are focused on one of two things. They're focused on accumulation or income. What's more important to you?
Accumulation.
That's right. And it's because you want pure accumulation or because you're accumulating for future paychecks?
I would say pure accumulation.
Since we're focused on the retirement portion of your life, for a portion of your assets, would you like to accumulate in a way that's safe?
Yes.
Would you like to have some tax control?
Absolutely.
Would you like to have a decent yield, a good return?
Yes.
And would you like to have some liquidity, access to cash?
Definitely.
And would you like to have some estate planning benefits, the ability to bypass probate?
Yes.
So what you're saying is you want accumulation with style. Yeah, there's only one thing in the universe that could do that for you, and that's an annuity. Okay, that time I went over by a few seconds, right? 1 minute and 5 seconds. Here's the funny thing about this process. In 60 seconds, you told me yes. How many times? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You told me yes 6 times. The only time in the universe that a person can tell you yes 6 times and then tell you no is when they're married. In a sales process, it is just about impossible for a person to tell you yes 6 times and then tell you no. So this is a bulletproof way that we help people have the conversation as it relates to annuities. Now, the next thing that people will normally say is, how do we get the conversation started? And there's another process that we have for that. And I'll just talk you through that. And we'll show you how that works later. It's very simple. And we do it by starting with 3 core questions. And then we add on 2 other questions as trailing questions to help with that conversation. The first question is, what do you want your retirement to look like? The second question is, when do you want to retire? The third question is, why is that important? And then you sit back and ask them, how do you plan on getting to where you want to go? And is that guaranteed? So at this point, I'm going to share a story with you that helps us tie all of this together. How do we start with the 60-second conversation? How do we, have some third-party material that adds value to what we're talking about? And then how do we take the difference and multiply that by 4? So it's not just about how do I give you income. It's how do I give you income at a discount, and then what do I do with the difference? Every time I've done this in front of individuals, they've loved it. It opened their eyes, and they significantly increased their annuity production. So I'm going to tie this together with the story, and this is what happened to me a few weeks ago while I was on an airplane. On an airplane traveling from my hometown now of Charlotte to Florida, I was sitting next to an older couple, and they asked me, what do I do for a living? Normally, if I want to have some alone time, I tell them I sell life insurance, and they will turn around. If I want to confuse them, I tell them I sell annuities. But on this particular day, I said my job is to travel across the country and show our partners how to have the annuity conversation with their clients. And he got very excited. I said, but it's business to business. My broker dealer does not want me to talk to clients. But he was like, this is a conversation that's very important to me. I really want to talk about it. And I said, okay, most people that are focused on retirement are either very excited or they're very afraid. And he says, yes. I said, what? I said, both? He says, yes. I said, what if I can alleviate that fear in 60 seconds? The wife's eyes perked up. I would love that. I opened up my iPad just like I did for you. And my initial question was, most people that are focused on retirement are focused on one of two things. They're focused on accumulation or income. What's more important to you? He says income. Okay. You want the income now or later? He said later, but I'm looking at him. He looks like an older gentleman. I said, when you say later, do you mean 10 years plus or within 5 years? Within 5 years. I said, that's now. Because the average retirement is going to last 25 to 30 years. Now I've already created some credibility. Do you want that guaranteed for life? He looked confused. Can you do that? Yes. Do you want it? Yes. Okay. Do you want to have control or no control? I want control. And I said, you must know my ex-wife. The wife died laughing. The husband was terrified. He was looking at his wife, and it was the funniest thing, right? And then I said, okay, well, if you want income now, guaranteed for life, and you want control, there's only one thing in the universe that could do that for you. That's an annuity with an income rider. And he says, really? Yes. Well, I have a lot of money. And I have a lot of very important, smart people, intelligent people that I know and trust that deal with my money. Why is it that no one else has had this conversation with me? I said, because many people don't know about annuities. And the person that worked with you was doing a really good job of helping you to accumulate your wealth. However, many of those people are using the same strategy to help you distribute your wealth. The question is, what happens when your money is gone and you're not? He's like, yeah, but why would I do an annuity, Charles? Why would I do that? And so here's the one thing I said to him. I said, most people that are using their managed money portfolio to generate income in retirement, they're using a withdrawal rate. He says, yeah, you're right. I said, for most people, it's 4%. He says, yeah, that's right, it's 4%. I say, but now the new safe money withdrawal rate, many people would say is 2.7, maybe 3%. And what does that mean? That means that you can put $1 million if a person's trying to solve for $30,000 of income. You can put $1 million in a managed money portfolio because you're taking out that 3%, right? But it's not guaranteed that you will run out of money. He said, guaranteed, and that's what keeps me up at night. I said, the reason why people use annuities is because I can give you the same $30,000, but instead of costing you $1 million, it's only going to cost you $500,000. In some cases, it may only cost you $428,000 because depending on your age, I can give you a 6 or a 7% withdrawal rate. He was like, are you serious? I say, yeah, most people, their income gap is $30,000 because most of their guaranteed income is coming from their Social Security or their pension. He says, no, my income gap is 60,000. I said, 60,000? He said 60,000. I said, okay, I want to share something with you. This gentleman was from the Carolinas, but I'm just going to say he's from Florida. He said, okay, what do they really look like for me, right? I said, if you can save me 50% and I can have guaranteed lifetime income. I said, okay, you're 65 years old And there are two ways that I could solve. I could ask you what you have, or I can ask you about what you want. I always tell the people that I work with, don't ask a person how much money they have in their pocket, because they'll lie to you. Ask them how much money do they want in their pocket, and they'll tell you the truth, just like this gentleman. So in 2 years, he wanted to have an income that was going to be guaranteed for life, and he wanted $60,000. I said, okay, no problem. It's going to cost you $722,000 today, and in 2 years, you'll get $60,000 guaranteed for life. I hit the next button, and when we did that, right, there's this 2-pager that comes up. And when the 2-pager came up, I shared it with him. And when he looked at it, he was floored. Why was he floored? Because he saw for him, it was 7.1%. He's like, Charles, the safe money withdrawal rate was 4. It's now more like 3. This is twice as much as what the safe money withdrawal rate is. If I had to use my managed money portfolio to generate the same income, it would have cost me almost $1.4 million, and I could have still run out of money. Oh my God. I say, that's just half of it. He said, half of it? I say, yes, just half of it. What do you mean? How long do you think you're gonna live in retirement? He said, I don't know, Charles, at least 20 years. My mom and dad are still alive, and they're in their 90s. I said, okay. So now let's just imagine we saved you $700,000. I'm rounding down, right? Let's imagine we saved you $700,000, and you're going to live another 25 years in retirement. What do you think you could average on that $700,000 over 20 years? He's like, Charles, I think I could do 12 if I could be as aggressive as I want to be. I said, do you know what? Then that difference would grow to $11 million. He's like, what? I say, yeah. In your best case, the 1.4 that you have set aside in your portfolio, generating the $60,000, best case, you don't run out of money, right? No, best case, you pass down the 1.4. Worst case, you don't run out of money. Or worst case, you run out of money, right? But the likelihood of you passing down the 1.4, if you're using that for income, is low because you have the market going up and down, and you're taking out withdrawals, and the advisor's taking out his fee. But let's just say 12% is too aggressive. What if I say 5%? Even if I was only able to give you a 5% return on the difference that I saved you, that would grow to $2.3 million. And my question is, the 1.4 that you have in your portfolio generating the income, is it liquid? Yes. No, it's not. Because if you touch it, it's going to impact your future income. But in this situation, we bought income at a discount, unlocked the equity of your portfolio, took the difference. And if we just put that in an index annuity, I can show you how we can do 5%. But if you want to be conservative and put that in the market doing something else, you could do 8%. But for some people, maybe they needed life insurance, some additional life insurance, maybe some life insurance like Eric was talking about with living benefits. Maybe they wanted some long-term care insurance. Maybe they needed disability insurance because they're still practicing, but they're still planning for a retirement income. There are all these things that now they didn't know they had the money, and you showed them. There are a lot of things that we covered today. We started with the 60-second close. It's a conversation that's allowed us to drive millions and billions of dollars in sales by keeping the conversation very short and very simple. We went over a very simple grid that showed the cost, right, of using a managed money portfolio, showing you how we can save you 50% less. We went to a calculator, and this is just one of the many solutions that we have that we're able to show, hey, if you want this, we can give it to you. This calculator is not behind a firewall. You could use it right now. And if you want to do it for a joint life, we could do that. And just that fast, you have the number. So for $722 for one person, $777 for two people, and whatever the difference is, it goes back to the beneficiaries. And then we share one of the many tools that we have that adds value to the conversation, our compound interest in your return calculator. My name is Charles Samuel. I cover annuities for Corebridge. I'm looking forward to partnering with Levinson and Associates, not just for now, but in the years to come. I look forward to seeing you all in person. Thank you all for allowing me to be here today.
Excellent, excellent. Charles, you're like the new Joe Ross of the annuity side.
That's
Very,
my
very
uncle.
impressive. You got, I'll tell you, that was awesome. We're definitely going to see more of Charles in the future. Now you can understand why there's $1 billion, right, directly related to his department, his division, his territory. That was just phenomenal. What we're also going to do, like I said, we're going to email this out so all 23,000 agents across the country can get a taste of the presentation. Also, Eric, phenomenal job on the life side. We always appreciate you, and Eric will be there live at our expo on April 12th as well. What I want to do now is switch gears because I want to get everyone out in just 5 minutes here and have our question of the day. I hope you were paying attention. So real fast, how to get started. I know some of you are appointed with us today, and some of you are under another agency or IMO. So if you move your contract to Levinson, take advantage of cash for contracting or leads for contracting. Plus, we match or beat your commission grid, as you know, and that's life and annuities with Corebridge. And obviously, Levinson has a direct IMO contract, so it's a win-win for everyone. Let's keep moving forward real fast. I want to talk about some of the new things here at Levinson, some of the resources and great ways to prospect so you can share your 60-second close story, right? So annuity side, this is how to get started. This is training requirements, contracting, everything with Corebridge is there at your fingertips. And again, that's going to be in our thank you email. Let's keep moving. So this is a new tool on the life side, and Corebridge is actually baked into this platform. This is our new X-ray underwriting tool. So you know this has been around for years and years, but the new updated version just launched literally a week ago. Okay, it's 100% done in real time, interactive. So as you put in the client information, the system is going to tell you what carrier, what health class, what premium looks the best, and then you can put in less info or more info depending on the client and what the health issues are. It makes it very simple, and then it goes right to a quote from here. So you don't have to do anything. This is going to change your world, especially selling life insurance. This is available now for free on our website, and like I said, Corebridge is built in. The next slide here is prospecting. So you want to share your story, right? You got the butterfly chart, you got the 60-second close on the annuity side. Now, this is a prospecting database, okay? If you want to focus on business owners, if you want to focus on a household family making at least 6 digits a year in the 33067 zip code, the system will tell you names, numbers, emails, addresses for everyone that falls into that criteria. And then you can market one of our campaigns on the life or annuity side or both, okay, through Agency Automator. So very, very simple. And this is a co-op discounted rate. We pay for part of it, and obviously you pay for part of it, but it starts at like $10 a month, very inexpensive. Let's keep moving forward. So Joe Ross, who I also love, and I spoke about him in the beginning. He's our keynote at the Expo. Amazing, amazing presenter. I met him actually when I first got into the business face to face, and he is, again, one of my faves. Real fast, this is his presentation. Okay, you just heard the 60-second close, which I loved. This is Joe Ross, his own presentation that he put together for business owners. And what's so great is this is a link to a video that you can share with business owners to open the door and get business owners to say yes to you and your solutions. Okay, so a great platform. It works phenomenal in this space, and it's free for all Levinson agents. Obviously, you have to be appointed with Corebridge, but we have this available on our site as well. Let's keep moving forward. These are a few sample social media posts. By the way, I'm almost done here. I got about 2 minutes left, and we'll put a bow on this. So real fast, these are top performing posts for the annuity side and the living benefit side. My point with this is check out on the left-hand side, over 1,000 likes, over 100 comments, and look how simple this post is. Okay, why your children need life insurance. Okay, it's not about you plan on that they're going to die and collect a death benefit. No, it's about their future. It's about retirement. It's about college planning. So it's just drawing the line and showing examples. Middle section is why single people would need life insurance. Another great airplane conversation, right? In row 16B. And then all the way over to the right-hand side, 64% of people admit they are not very knowledgeable about annuities. This just opens the door for questions, comments, which turn into leads, right? We know how this works. Over 270 likes on that one post. And again, just opening the door. That's what this is about, right? To share your own story. Okay, the next slide here is the Bill Levinson Experience podcast. Joe Ross and myself did a great episode that's on the bottom left. We'll share that in the thank you email. That's the Tony Robbins right-hand man, Michael Savage. And then on the right side, the infamous Gary Vaynerchuk. I sat down with him for an hour, all about marketing in today's world, right? If you're an insurance agent trying to get the word out for life insurance and annuities, what would you do? Gary Vaynerchuk, and he tells us his thoughts for an hour. That's a great episode. And then, of course, the top section there in the middle is me, Emmanuel, and Mike Savage. We have a great conversation in the conference room here last month. I think you're going to love number 48. If you haven't listened to that one yet, please do. Okay, and share your thoughts. You'll get the IUL prospecting book on us. My second to last slide is what's coming up in the near future for the Levinson live training events. We have some great ones. Okay, the reason why I'm taking another second to point this out, check out the blue section. So I've never seen a lineup like this. I'm very excited. The top event right there on the 21st top line is all of the latest and greatest, hottest final expense platforms, products, carriers, technology, all the above. Just under that, Americo came out with an instant decision IUL a couple weeks ago. We're launching that on the 28th. And then just under that, we have a 101, a life and annuity 101 agent training webinar that goes over everything Levinson has to offer, because we know how it can be overwhelming. There's a lot of moving parts, right? Because we need a little bit for everyone across the United States, and everything's on our website, including Billy the Bot, which is our new chat bot that will be available April 12th. You're going to love that. Just under that is Emeritus Now. You will have access to all products, okay, including, remember, there was the brokerage side where we only had 2 products, and then there was the career channel where they had disability and whole life. Well, you're going to have access to everything starting this month, the 31st of March. We're going to roll it out on the 25th of April. It's going to be very exciting. And then just under that, we're talking about One America's linked hybrid life and annuity products. So some great, great stuff to come, like I promised. Last slide here, my question of the day. And I hope your little fingers are on the keyboard, because you got to be fast and you got to be first. But first, my Positive Tuesday quote, left-hand side, hitting your goals is great, but raising your standards is priceless. Never, ever, ever settle no matter what. Try some of these new strategies. You just learned so much. I just learned a lot from Charles, from Eric. Okay, you got to put the word out. Try some of these new social media techniques, okay? If you don't have a YouTube channel, now's the time. Dive in. You see proof in the pudding. The annuity side is blowing up, okay? On the life insurance side, living benefits is blowing up, but you got to put your foot in, okay, and make it happen. Try some of these new strategies. I think you'll be surprised with the outcome. My question of the day, whoever's first wins, get ready to go. What I spoke about was the annuity industry blowing up right now. Okay, some of the stats that I shared was total annuity sales, fixed annuity sales from 2022 to 2023. What was the percentage in increase? What was the percentage of increase? Total annuity sales from 22 to 23. I spoke about the number earlier. Tell me the percent, and you win. You tell me first and correctly. You win the HD8 and IUL prospecting book on us. Andrew, who was first and who was correct?
Stephen M.
Stephen M., congrats. The number was 23%. 23% increase year over year in the fixed annuity space. That is amazing, and it's only getting bigger. Okay, we're already in quarter one, and we're already seeing proof in the pudding. So you need to put your foot in the water, share the strategies, get the word out. Have a wonderful rest of your Thursday, great rest of the week, good selling. Thank you again, everyone. Thank you, Charles. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Andrew. Great work, all the above.